ferocity in the interview. I like that confidence.
Earlier today, actually, during the breakfast, Mohan, I walked into the hotel and I saw Prius from behind.
Oh, yeah?
And I walked over and I put my arm around him and I went, "Whoa, what's up?" And he turned around and it wasn't Prius, it was Hunden. He was shocked because I don't know him. So let's see if he knows his opponent as this map gets underway. Heroic versus Mad Lions. Heroic on that CT side, and the Lions showing nothing straight out the gate.
Yeah, nice and quiet in the Lions' den. Here we are in the long box. Two outside waiting for a push. The setup from Heroic does favor a lot of presence towards the B side, so maybe they're onto something. We'll soon find out. But on the other half of the map, Lions have now taken the liberty of moving out, slowly clearing out angles while the CTs are left scratching their heads.
Yeah, CTs, I was thinking to myself, with this presence towards mid, maybe somebody gets adventurous and moves to the top of it. But at the same time, Lions inching their way around long. Now that smoke over towards the cross ×2 is certainly going to draw Snappy back into it. He'll see nothing as they try to cross over. But remember, all this action doesn't matter. That bomb is what we need to keep our eyes on because it could potentially slip into the B site. Stavin has left. He's gone to CT, and Heroic fall for this hook, line, and sinker.
You got to believe this is a play on a read. I mean, they maybe know that Heroic are just going to abandon the site. This is huge. And so much damage done by Roy. Yeah, he gets killed, but his teammate's still alive, and he's done tons of impact.
Bro, 5 guys retaking A as if the bomb was planted over there. They now realize what's happened. Suckers over towards the opposite side of the map. They are going to scurry their way over and attempt this retake. Bubsky has already done damage, and he's looking to hold the line, but it falls onto Hunden. CTs pick up headshots, down 2 of which as Katie encloses this. Good thing they scrambled, good thing they sprint as fast as they could to that B site, but you got to give props to the bomb slip. That plant's pretty crucial.
Yeah, I think the narrative, as you were getting into, was that when they were rotating over to B, there were still 3 players live on the B side. There was damage done on the A side. You saw that they probably had it locked up, and they ended up losing to just kind of gun duels, probably because of a very nice shot by Stone to start things off. And then the last person, obviously, is between a rock and a hard place, staying in the long tunnels, which is a good spot to be in, but not versus 3. And then that's when it got too late. But overall, Mad Lions, really nice strat, and just it's a strat that makes so much sense versus that particular setup, where they're willing to pull the goalie on the A site, play for a retake, and then when they find out that the team has gone A, which is the honeypot that they wanted to set up, well, it turns out they're actually going back to plan A, and they could have held their original positions and had a much better chance of winning the round. And they win despite that, and that's kind of the beauty of Counter-Strike right there. That will happen. But now we are already into round 2. Just Pistols bot here. This Mad Lions is kind of all they want to spend their money on. And no quick plays out the gate. But they have found a gap in the defense. That's at middle. A lot of them have walked up freely and have already made their way onto Cat. And there are no trajectories or trajectory points on the CT side right now that can nade them on Cat. So that'll be nice for these Pistols to try to make some ground.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how far Hunden gets outwards before he is turned back. Stavin gonna try to get his eyes up. The player has made it past, and with 2 CTs trying to control doors right now, at least they have a man on site. Hunden distracts long enough for Bubsky to come outwards, picking up a single kill, but then leaving Acor on his own. So, you know, if that's the gun round, excellent situation for Mad Lions. Obviously unequipped for the moment, and therefore they will fall. CTs looking to minimize losses, keep Snappy as far away from this as possible. I mean, they came into this with rifles aplenty, so force surviving is crucial here for Heroic.
Yeah, the tough part is obviously finding a way to get the bomb down when your bomb is coming out of long. They probably thought there would be a lot more interference versus Cat, but they have once again done a good job of causing a rotation in the moment that they have executed out of a choke point. So at least they got out of long without getting spammed down in the doorways and looking dumb. They had something going there for a moment, so that's nice. Heroic 2-0 now, and we move into a round versus AKs. They haven't had to upgrade anything, so they keep 2 Falmuses. They have a fair bit of utility. They're going to end up being able to buy in full armor and all, and have some left over.
Yeah, at the end of the first round, we had a very, very brief tech pause, but then this is actually a tactical pause. Mad Lions calling one right before their first buy.
I think, you know, if I'm in Mad Lions camp right now, I just see those last 2 rounds and think, calling's good so far. Plans are working out. We can continue with whatever we wanted to do because whatever preparation we did coming into this best of 1 on Dust 2 versus Heroic is making sense. So we'll see. We'll see what their their strategy is going to be for this opening rifle round. So they start to barge their way out long. A little bit of damage dealt, but a lot more dealt back. Hunden with the initial entry.
Bodies on bodies trying to challenge for long control. Cadian caught out to the open, and he can't finish Hunden. Therefore, 4 versus 2. But a quick peek from Estetag. Good for almost the second frag. Hunden, 2 health. All that keeps him standing. 2 teammates, of course, still in the mix. One of which is Acor. Positions himself in pit. And a little bit of utility usage on the cross gets them over. Estetag, worried about the Molotov, allows them to get onto ramp. But does he slip into this? He could screw them. That frag grenade from Borup is big. Bubsky, alone on site, has to plant safely so Acor cannot fall back to pit, the position he initially wanted. Good op shot, and Bubsky seals the deal.
Yeah, they go fast. You wonder why they needed an attack pause to call that, but they were probably picking from an array of strategies that they were thinking about. And obviously Dust 2 is open where they can get away with a lot, even if it's not the correct quote-unquote strategy or based on the read. But they come out long in a situation where there's only one there available to kill. Hunden gets the opening kill. And Hunden's that guy who you know is not going to win any awards for killing people. Like, in terms of how many frags he'll get in a year or in a match, it's just not going to be anything to write home about. But if he does have that one match where he's doing so well, and he's already got a team that can win without him doing well, then that's really when it gets scary. So Heroic hopefully aren't going up against that Hunden today, but it seems like they might be.
Yeah, it looks like Heroic, they've completely foregone that long control. Gonna put Cadian's scout with eyes up, but a bigger weapon awaits him if he goes ahead for that repeak. So far, Mad Lions prioritizing long control. We saw it on their pistol eco. We saw it last round with a 4-man burst, and then this one too. Stavin on site, plays behind the box with a slight gap. He takes the first head, but Roy had already worked his way around that smoke, so it's an easy trade frag, toppling what were crucial weapons, because the last man, or the next man rather, is Snappy. He'd be good for a boost if they want to throw that M4 into the mix, but heavy cost to pay in a situation that they should ultimately lose anyways. 4 versus 3 moment, Mad Lions going to be happy to take away a second round, and more importantly, these 4 guns.
Yeah, a lot of money made on these kills. Estetag proceeds into the CT spawn and will desperately try to grasp onto this M4 for as long as he can hold it. Flash lands right in his face, and his face also comes off. So now it's going to be Roy leading the way, and the last player to save is Borup with just this kind of sad and solemn FAMAS in the upper tunnels, in the dark, gloomy upper tunnels.
Yeah, a very depressing place to be. Not the cleanest place either.
What's the most depressing place you've ever been?
Anywhere next to you.
Well, I didn't expect that answer.
It's tough living in your shadow, that's why.
That's an FBM.
Mo, are you ready for another gun round?
I am, yeah. I'm always ready for a gun round. I mean, if I could have it my way, it would just be gun rounds all the time.
Really?
No.
Okay, good.
I'm lying. I would never harm the integrity of Counter-Strike like that.
Excellent. Mind you, I was anticipating a little bit more than 4 USPs, but nearly as vanilla as it gets. They will save everything they can. Borup with a bit of a Hail Mary, perhaps. Go for it. Look to rack up some cost. I mean, considering the state of Mad Lions when they finished that last round, conserving all of those weapons and whatnot, you need to kind of chip away at that. So screw the FAMAS. Don't bother saving again. Hit him where it hurts. And he is that front line, successful already. Pistol players looking to serve as a distraction, but Roy dishes it out. Clears those 2 players. Now, there are still 3 nearby. Maybe unsuspecting to Mad Lions to have bodies in proximity, but easily toppling the totem pole and leaving Stavin just cowering in the corner.
Yeah, any damage is nice. They can find it, so. Ston, by the way.
Ston, yes. It's a V, man.
I know, we're into 2020. We took a little bit of a break, if you read the name as it is, Stavin, but we remember. Ston.
Ston.
Ston goes down.
God, Ston, and
any other funny ones? Roy.
Well, Roy, but you know,
not funny.
He's cleared it up.
Right.
You know, he's done
I'm
us
glad
that
it's Roy.
pleasure. So am I. Yeah, that was the first chance. I remember it was DreamHack Winter. They'd come off of a win. I was hosting. I got to interview him, and my first question straight out the gate was like, "Listen, man.
How do you say your name, brother?
Let's get this cleared up. We don't need another god."
Only one true god.
But alas, we find ourselves again with Heroic in a tough spot. It's not a single FAMAS, but rather a single scout. And it's here in the hands of Snappy. Flashbangs and smoke grenades have enabled Mad Lions to get some bodies up towards Catwalk. But But Hunden's spotted and tagged. Down to 30 HP, he'll go.
Quickly earn money. Lots of money here for the T's so far. So it's just really nice. They've got the CTs on strings in some of these rounds, doing a good job of influencing rotations before they've executed. And now Katie will be the first man in the action and the first man down as well. And Big Roy's already up with the 2-piece.
Or up. That's like the most confident Deagle spot I've ever seen. Not on site behind box, not sitting behind barrels or car. No. Crouching and ramp.
That's when you know someone's talented, when they're standing in a bad spot, right? That's when you know they're made of magic.
What do you mean I can't get kills from here?
I always get kills from here.
Ooh, there it is.
Okay.
Crisp headshot. Acor crouches into the scout. No second smoke. Not a problem, though. Bomb already planted. 2 members of Mad Lions on site. Bubsky securing the flank.
I'm just enamored with that pistol round. Because I also love how the long smokes played into it. What you said just brought that up in my mind again. But
I was going to say, man, still
being able to cross, like if nobody has vision on A and the vision is from the rotate. Wait, what's happening? Because the TPs are up, man. Essa tag puts another one down. He's low on health. And he can make up for that by killing everybody. The bomb will take down the last 2, and everybody dies.
Well,
it's a true battle royale.
Yeah, isn't that a metaphor for life? 4 versus 2, Mohan. Mad Lions going to take themselves a doubled scoreline here. Happy to do so, of course. But that's what we're talking about. That's one of those rounds where the costs stack up.
Yeah,
that was the single scout.
Yeah, you know, it's 5K a piece that the Essa tag has kind of begged from everybody. Even that last kill, he partially influences because he calls Bubsky to come through, and then he gets killed.
Ooh, double op setup. I was going to say, that could have gone horribly for Heroic. They opt to linger their B player in mid on a boost over smoke, looking for a pick with the op, but it wasn't there for them. It left the B site open. Mad Lions looked like they were moving towards tunnels quickly, but in the end, they opt not to rush through. A little more calculated towards middle they'll go. Go on. It's all yours.
All mine? Okay. I was going to say, they have, I think they've identified Snappy as this long player that if they wait long enough, they can always isolate him, which is true for a lot of people who are playing in the long spot, but maybe they feel like they can abuse him quite often. So those were the kind of the 2 rounds that were very important to get Mad Lions this start on this lead, where they were able to take advantage of his spot. Now they've gone back to some cap presence. They Freiberg drop in a CT spawn. Ston has had to take 2 fights alone. He wins them both, but then Bubsky finally comes out for the trade. The B split is stopped in his tracks, however, and the round suddenly gets a bit more tricky. Borup, he'll get away with his life and find a spot in tunnels, but
damn, he's pinched.
Yeah.
He walks right into the op. Acor, he can throw down that Molotov, add himself to the bomb site if they really want to double up on this. And that would be the right call to make, seeing as both of Heroic's players come in from mid, creeping through smoke. Almost Cadian finds timing there as Bubsky was using his grenades, and that's it. They're slain. Bubsky shuts it down and pushes Mad Lions to 5 rounds in a row.
And it's by a matter of 1 HP. Very, very nice round there from Bubsky. Cadian come through the smoke, you know, early in the 2v2. It can work, it might not work. It's just him going off of a read, off of timing, off of just pure luck, or trying to make it seem like his teammate is trying to meet him from another choke point. Whatever the case may be, it didn't work this time. Made that 1v2 a lot harder, and obviously it was a round they didn't win. But now we move into another pistol round here for Heroic. It's been a really good set of rounds in a row for Mad Lions. They've only had to go up against 2 rifles in this giant comeback.
Damn, just ripping through the B bomb site, shifting their attention away from what at the beginning of this half was just long A after long A. So switching it up, not letting Heroic get an easy read on the situation.
Yeah.
But again, just cutting through quickly these light buys. 6-2.
Variety is the spice of life, and as we said, you know, they're not going to be splitting any atoms when it comes to T side on Dust 2, but maybe the epitome of a good Dust 2, or the best Dust 2 in the future, will just be a breadth of plays, just many options that you can go to, and then on top of that, having the IGL that knows which one to use and when. And here we have Hunden using both halves of the map at the correct times, causing a lot of good rotations, taking control of rounds early, and not having to wait until the last minute kind of explosive takes or just straight up bum rushes out of long to try to win rounds. He hasn't had to rely on that. He's peppering them in nicely.
Yep, and not a single moment either. Like, you know, you talk about playing with time, maybe dangerously. They haven't walked into a stack of deagles at all. Like, the moments that we've seen Heroic use half-buys to get anything done is normally just some scout damage through middle, you know, a couple of trade frags when they take long control, but, I mean, that's always worth it. You know, you lose 2 members, you get yourself in pit, good to go.
Yeah.
A-Site's been theirs every time from that moment. So, not falling victim to the cheap ones.
The narrative of this Danish derby is going to be something that would exist with or without kind of the shoulder content around CS, whether it's the casters, the personalities of the fans, or whatever, saying Danish derby and over again. But I think now that we've spoken it so strongly into existence, it is in the minds of the players all the time that this is the group of Danes, this is the Danish derby, this is the fight, the battle for who's #1 in Denmark. If you ask the players, they just want to win, and when other Danish teams are playing, they want them to lose because they're not them, right? Before we talk about that, we're already into this next round. Bubsky gets the first kill. He stuck out long. Snappy had no idea he could have gotten that far.
Nope.
And he might be on for a second, but it's a flash that comes in favor of Cadian that allow him to get info and leave.
Yeah, good move. Don't worry about the pit player just yet. Let Bubsky have his real estate. Get that AWP potentially up on catwalk. If you can cut off that second route, then you're not worrying about an A pinch. They could also opt to go through middle. But this is another one of those moments where they have to ask themselves, have they already given away a position to the T's? Bubsky had it at long. Shush has it here in mid. So they see nothing with their boost, and they're going to have to go one better. Going to have to take a little step deeper. And they will. Bubsky, or excuse me, Borup, turns back around, finds an easy execution, and now, unfortunately for Mad Lions, this is going to put them all in on long. So Cadian, who has had a rough start this map, 1 in 6 at the moment, is looking to do exactly that. A double up with the op, drops the bomb, 40 seconds left over. This is one of those moments, Mad Lions walking into a big problem. And they find nothing more. That single kill versus Snappy, what looked like an easy 5 versus 4 out the gate, completely shut down by a mid push, and of course, Cadian's collateral.
Yeah, in terms of how much info they had, the 4 of them had just about as much info as Shush did here at mid. By himself, he was clearing the fog of war when it came to Cat, when it came to middle, if he was looking around, of course, and then he got killed because he wasn't, but he was a critical piece of the puzzle, is all I'm saying. But then Cadian, I mean, almost every collateral that you see is luck. You shoot when you see the first guy, you sometimes get 2 in the process, and even though there was some luck involved, that was just a very important collateral that helped them just seal the deal right then and there. So a nice shot from Cadian. Fortunate to have 2 come into the crosshairs, but a nice shot nonetheless.
Of course, winning 1 round and then immediately getting wrecked the next wouldn't be the best look for Heroic, and they find themselves 5 versus 4 yet again. Not a problem. This is where they were last round, but as you said, it took a bit of luck. Took the collateral. This time, catwalk is the biggest issue. Cadian, he's going to find himself in the open. Falls, but at least does take 1. Now, if Long was also gone, that'd be the bigger issue. Snappy's still in the mix. Sprints over towards ramp, sees A-Core, gets his op on cycle, comes in for the repeat and clears it. Stavin, another one as well is his, and that post plants over towards the catwalk. Bubsky's the first line of defense. He's been playing light out at 13 and 3, but he hears that bomb get tapped, and oh, poor Roy, fumbling his movement, can't get into the mix in time. So Heroic close that gap, and they end the round with still 2 standing.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably dead because they have the Molotov that's in full spread on top of Cat as he rotates in.
You know, maybe he throws himself into the fire.
Maybe he does,
stop the
takes a bunch of damage, gets a lucky kill, and then obviously the bomb diffuser will just die, but, you know, unlikely situation. Basically, all I'm saying is the nades were great, and they probably won the round. Also, that HE exploding in his face on Cat allowed that kill to come even easier, to guarantee it. So, again, just a simple 2v2, very nice nade usage, and that allowed him to pull it off. So Heroic are down by 2 rounds, certainly not out of this half by any means. There's still going to be some interesting mind games that can be played. Like a smoke gets dropped there on the mid cross, but there's no CTs to play up close to take advantage of that. Borum is now going to have a bunch of attention. He kills both players that are rushing his way, and Roy ends up getting the trade.
Hunden sneaks through door. Unfortunately, though, bombs on the other side. And it's Oh, what? I saw a Molotov pop, but not going to matter regardless. The only thing that really goes their way here is Mad Lions are able to get Roy out tunnels. So be it. He's playing inside of a smoke. Little frantic moment there from Sound. Taken down, and Heroic closed the gap again. This time 5-6. So inching their way closer. Right now, this is very much kind of Roy and Bubsky versus Sound.
So what we're going to see here is obviously the flash that comes over as he goes to smoke tunnels, and then he goes and takes both kills because of a great flash. Yep. Because of a great timing as well, though. There's only so many footsteps that you can hear when they come out mid up to the window. If you're in the site and you're playing kind of a 2-3 setup with no one at mid, you're relying on that flash to do a lot for you. I mean, it's not just you got to hope that flash gets you a kill and you'll maybe win the round. No, you need that flash to do a lot, and you need that player that comes into window to take advantage and get the kill, or to get a kill and stay alive. Get both is like the best case scenario. Right. Bort pulls it off. I
mean, because even if he doesn't get his frags, let's say it's a successful flash, slows it down a bit, you still have Roy coming out tunnels. They very much understand they are getting pinched in this moment, and they had to, at that time, get something done. So they did. Solid lockdown on mid, and they will reap the benefits, seeing as Mad Lions have to come into this with just pistols. The first time we've seen that since the game got going.
Yeah, and I guess to pick up more on that, just on the fundamental level, is they want to try to funnel them into the choke point that they want. So you're going to leave either door or window open so that you can fight. So the common thing is obviously smoke the door, then peek the window, but you can do either or. You just shut down one of those choke points, and then the smoke actually came up for tunnels as well. So they're trying to crush it down to one choke point that they execute through, kill them there, and then start to fight more and hope their rotations come in.
Little deagle play here on mid doors. We seal off the 12th round. What will most certainly be Heroic tying things up. And considering that, at one point they were down 2-5, I think they'll be happy to find themselves here. They still have a T side. Once we do swap, closing that gap, closing that momentum that Mad Lions established, it's going to be a real feels good, man. Cadian shuts it down. Nope. Excuse me. Misses his shot. How about a bomb plant? Couple flashbangs, smoke yourself for Cat. If you just sprint this, then maybe? A little money wouldn't be too bad. Oh, smoke goes high, Molotov hits the dirt, and so does Acorn. No plant, and as we said, 6 rounds apiece.
It's kind of an interesting map for Heroic to play on because the map that's not available in terms of stats on their map pool. Whereas Mad Lions, I don't know if they expected the veto to go this way for that reason.
I'm curious as well.
Actually. Yeah, there's a chance that they played against each other in scrims, but knowing that this land was coming up, I'm not quite sure. Oh, whoa, flick up. Acor gets the leg of S attack. Counts for something, even though he doesn't know exactly how much damage he's done just yet. And they go back into this 2-3 setup. Snappy finally comes out the victor in this long duel. Very important here for the CT side of Heroic. For him to establish that. Otherwise, they just keep taking advantage of him. He'll need some help. And then once those rotations come in, other parts of the map get weaker. So it's really good that he comes up huge there in that duel. Asatag also joins in the fun. Nice op shot from him on Roy from K-Sharp.
Smoke blocks him off. Would be a bit of a frantic rush, and they realize this. No reason to push the envelope just yet. There's still more than a minute on the clock. My curiosity, of course, falls towards Snappy. He's kind of flirting with the idea of long doors. Seeing as Mad Lions are serving themselves as a cohort, shoulder to shoulder, all 3 members, side by side. Could have found the time to do it, but he didn't. He held. Sure, could have been tucked away, but they will still come his way. He waits. As we hit that 45-second mark, Snappy will be challenged. He's shoulder, and he gets traded. Just slides right out in front of the Opper, Acor, who had kind of baited those initial shots, but Cadian, sick, bit of a flick, and a reposition onto the ledge. Now they hit that 30-second mark, time playing against them, utility as well, double smoke for the cross, double flashbang for the peak. Hunden has to set up Acor. Maybe toppling another player would be great, but Cadian, even despite being on a quarter of his health, decides to go for his fight. And there is still time for Acor to pull this off. Pull it out of nowhere. 10-second plant inside of the smoke. Now, if they wait for that to fade, he is done for.
Oh, my God.
Wild spray from each side will get Heroic in the lead. 7 rounds to 6.
Nice fighting to the very end there, taking long, using the smokes. They actually come out long with 2 smokes available. Enough utility in general to cross, just not enough HP to really make that happen, I guess. But a nice defense, very standard stuff here for the CT side. Good stuff on the hold. Nice shot, I mean, it wasn't much of a flick, but putting himself in that position made him very vulnerable if he missed. So critical that he does find that opportunity, snatch it while it's there. And now we move into another round. Heroic have the lead here on the CT side. Not something I thought we'd see after the 2-5 start for Mad Lions.
I misspoke. It's actually 6-2 Mohan.
6-2, but here we are. 7-6 here for Heroic. Not too bad.
5 rounds in a row. Mad Lions had 6. Can Heroic go one better? Utility already light here for Mad Lions, but at least they have themselves some catwalk control. Cadian putting himself at the forefront of the hold. Drops some utility and backs off.
Standard 3-2 once again. Heroic have had varying results with this setup, but in general, their B has been very, very solid, especially in the later rounds. That has resulted in their ability to come back. So Mad Lions avoid that kind of friction, decide to maybe attempt a long take once again. Snappy will be in the spotlight.
Tucked away. Half-ass clear from Bubsky, and Snappy's gonna make the most of it. 3 bodies on the gun round, all racked up. And while Acor can trade this, Cadian, he still has his eyes on bomb.
Cadian, line of sight. He can hold this down. Acor wants to fight, is expecting Cadian to meet him halfway, but that's not the case. He's holding on to an angle. He doesn't have to give it up. Slowly creep out, but Cadian will be the victor, and Heroic now have guaranteed a numerical lead in this half.
Excellently done. Able to get themselves 6 in a row after giving up 6, and a very real chance at closing with a 7th here. But Snappy tucked in. I mean, you saw Bubsky's slight little adjustment, but his fixation towards Pit is what cost them.
Yeah, but they couldn't, no one could trade, right? I mean, Snappy has been working way too hard for some of these kills, so it's good to see that he's playing well now, when it matters the most. Confident going up as well. Yeah, chance to get 2. Amazing trade from Bubsky. Thought he was full blind in that moment. Headshot comes out to answer back for Snappy's initial kill, but that's good too. We saw that Heroic have done well in these 4v4 situations, and it's sometimes the long player that has gone down in the past, so I don't think this will be a difficult adjustment for them. But it is IGL for IGL.
Smoke at the bottom of doors. Trying to convince Mad Lions to forego any type of a mid play. And they have eyes on it too. Heroic using Stown to kind of flirt with the idea of mid. Prepared at the B site. 2 members here. Molotov to cut them off. They're just going to charge right through it. Boric best only one. And Astakai gets himself into the smoke. Finds nothing for his efforts and is taken down by Roy. So man advantage here for Mad Lions. 50 seconds on the clock and a bomb plant. This is how we finish the half, a 2v3 retake attempt with some pieces of utility. Double Molotov and a single smoke. Oh, but Bubsky, he cuts down tunnels, so poor Cadian. Wait, he burns out the player on plat. If he can just blast the one beneath him, that'd be big. But just from beneath, blows him from the feet, and an 8-7 score is where we end this. Folks, we will be back with the second half after a very short break. Yoda lady. Oh, we're back in action with Heroic versus Mad Lions.
The Pepe Jam.
Danish derby that looked incredibly one-sided. 6-2 lead for Mad Lions. 6 rounds back from Heroic. And then, of course, the last little bit of a jab there. Of course.
I almost got seasick with how tumultuous that half was. Oh my God, the swings back and forth.
It's wavy, baby. But here we go. Second pistol coming at you hot. Lots of utility here for the side of Heroic. You love to see it. But what shall they do? Well, at the moment, it's looking like a clear cookie-cutter B hit here, Mohan.
And it's a similar setup from Mad Lions as Heroic had in that first half, except for that they've got a lot of attention on A, which is that one player looking all the way down. Come on, the 2 kills. He's already having a great match. Those are a couple of fantastic USB headshots through the smoke. He's going to make it 3. Can he just go ahead and make it an ace? Come on, make a clip of it. Instead, Cadian will trade him out. It still leaves Mad Lions in a 3-2 situation. Cadian tries to change that, but instead gets a bullet back and now leaves Snappy in the 1-on-3.
How about a clutch?
Got a bit of utility to work with.
Ooh, low HP, Hunden's down. He already knows that a player's come out from tunnels, so Roy, he just needs to buy time. Snappy doesn't finish it, but so close.
So close.
I mean, a pistol round that is really indicative of just how this map has been.
Yeah.
Back and forth, man.
He almost finished it. I almost finished. Oh my God, it was amazing.
But it is exactly that. CT side gonna grab themselves a second pistol. Bubsky just plop-plopping them through the smoke. They don't even know what hit them. Had a chance at even more there, but 3 kills from Bubsky, 19-9 he is, as we are all tied up at 8.
Yeah, and coming out of the half, he already had like really high ADR, like leading the stats for his team. And maybe they get spammed because it's a symptom of that smoke. They have info on long.
Sure.
They might realize that that's not a bait at all. And that gives him a chance. What the hell? That was Cadian jumping through maybe even the wall? I don't even know. A really nuts scout shot there from mid, but he gets traded 4-4. SG and AK here for the Ts. Can't count them out for sure. I like the buy here from Heroic. A good balance between firepower and utility. It's what I always like to see.
Very feng shui. Everything well positioned, as they do have themselves a player still outside of long. Could best Hunden if he turns his attention, but Roy's here with him. So Catwalk very much given over to the Heroic side. Of course, remember Bubsky, he's just tucked in CT spawn on those boxes in case there's any element of a mid hit, but that is not the case. It's 3 members up Catwalk.
Yeah, he can also call the audible from lower as they run across Cat. That's 3 pairs of footsteps. And Hunden's found sanctity in inside long doors with his teammates. They've got a lot of control here. And they even crush Borup outside of the doors via mid.
Yeah, bro, try to hide. He attempts to tuck himself behind Taxi, but that's the end of him. It's down. Having that Krieg in hand is in close proximity, but 2-3 quick kills coming in for Mad Lions. They just sweep up that bomb site and will nab themselves a lead.
This is fresh, man. I really love the protocols there to try to attack Borup in a point where he is expecting to be one of the last people alive. He's thinking, I can just come out long late. I can come in for the retake. If it comes to a clutch situation, if they use me, ultimately they probably won't need to. Instead, he gets killed first, and yeah, that's through the
through the door frame.
Yeah, it's through the frame. Yeah, it's through the arch. Pretty nuts. Good reaction.
And the beauty of that situation too is like instantaneous trade as well from Esatag. So, Cadian, you'd think jumping up Catwalk would be enough to keep your head on its shoulders. Not the case. Light buy here for Heroic. This is one of those moments, we just praised them last round. Like, oh, this is a nice melange of weaponry and utility, but this is just all utility. Look at the amount of flashes and smokes they have here for Heroic. Nothing other than pistols in the mix. The door hinge smoke meant to get them up Xbox. That explains A-Core's scout spam. They wait out the shots and then decide to move themselves forward regardless.
All is clear. Unless.
They've
got Goose, a very strong spot versus Cat takes. A spot where you're locked into, so you really want it to be a Cat take, because if your long player dies, you're suddenly not in such a nice position. But it looks like this is the exact take that Goose is made for. So we'll see if it works out that way for Mad Lions. First line of defense is Bubsky.
Bro, does he have smokes on his screen? Another one just blown away before he even sees him.
Yeah, maybe he fried his GPU on purpose like we used to do back in the days.
All those smokes that Heroic had are gone. They've been implemented in the flashbangs too, so it is nothing but pistols and desperation as they try to close the distance and get that bomb on site, but not gonna happen. Cadian tucks himself into CT spawn, tries to pretend to be one of them. Not gonna work at all. Hunden shutting down the round as Mad Lions get themselves to double digits first, 10-8.
He's only got 7 kills, but I think I remember all of them. Yeah. I think he's had really cool kills, good kills for sure. That Hunden guy. Yeah, strong setup. The cat play falls flat. It's just like they get nothing going. They aren't able to gain any ground basically. And it looks like Mad Lions just know where they are kind of every step of the round, which is nice for them. They hit that double-digit mark as a bunch of T's come barreling down suicide. The Molotov comes out of mid to stop them from any kind of fast play out mid if that was the plan. We don't know if it was. It seemed like they got close and stopped. But it's not hard to take map control on T sides. They've got lots of time to kind of purvey all of their options. Yep. Wow, great damage. Bupski, no smokes, no doors. I don't know. Maybe it's like a Steam command?
Like a sixth sense.
Or yeah, just maybe genetic.
This is a wild round considering Mad Lions went 4 members out long A initially. It looked like Heroic could have just torpedoed the B bomb site. You saw them just so quickly sprint down suicide, and yet then they halted. They hit the doors of mid.
Molotov.
Met Bubski's M4. Breaks in full effect. But middle will be their target, most certainly. Heroic having 4 players walk outdoors, trying to do it silently. It's Roy on the boxes. Double smokes down, he's not going to find much vision. Does spot the head of Stown jumping over, so they very much know there is something going on here, but this B site now so susceptible, except Roy doubles up, cuts off bomb, and Bubski in the back of the bomb site tries his best to hang on. However, Roy could make a crucial error in that moment, decides to run out CT spawn, gets cut off by Cadian, gives away what was the even 3v3, and more importantly, lets bomb sprint towards site.
Yeah, for sure, and the bomb is Cadian, you know, so Cadian takes his own risk in waiting, makes a great read, realizes that Roy might take a risk there, is correct, and it pays off. They get the bomb plant down, 2v3 situation. Hunden on a big flank, but Esatag has a shallow enough angle that won't actually be that advantageous. And Hunden gets the message. He hasn't seen anybody just yet. He's giving it up, and they're going to play for the next round. Nice recovery from Heroic after Roy got into such a good spot. Yep. And you got to love that he doesn't get scared. And he could have just gotten his face blasted off the top of the box, but instead he waits, he crouches, he peeks up again, as if there's no bullets coming his way, as if nobody knows he's there. And then that patience pays off. I think a lot of people fall off in that situation, and that's what Heroic were expecting him to do as well.
So there we have it. Heroic using mid to split B and get themselves to a 9th round. So cutting that lead to just 1. Curious to see if we'll have sprees of rounds again here in the second half. But it was just 3 in a row from Mad Lions. Heroic on the board early here in the T side.
Critical opening there as well from Borup to, I think, win his fight versus window from outside the site. We talked about earlier how that's incredibly important. If you're the guy, one of 2 in the site, that if you're going to have if you're going to pick the choke point to peak and it's going to be at mid, you win that duel or you get away safely. And he doesn't do that. Like Borup ends up winning the duel himself. So that opens up the B side in a big way. Roy can only do so much from that perspective, right? We see him die because he's trying to rotate to help B. And that's what's so difficult about B in the first place, is that you cannot rely on your teammates to help you out that fast. Because a lot of the T's, they can see you through mid, they can be at mid like Cadian was, or they can just be kind of around the corner holding CT spawn.
Also one of those moments where if it wasn't 4 players through middle, but just a 3-2 split, having doubled up on tunnels, then Cadian's not there. But wow, look at that chip damage. Shush could be prime for a multi-frag here in this situation. There's his second. It's going to be tough to get him off. Car, a third. Oh, almost a fourth, but Cadian's hop shot shuts him down. At a 3 versus 2 with a bomb being planted, could be a prime spot for Heroic to tie this at 10. It's all in from mid. Mad Lions retake attempt. Gonna have to use that window. Door smoke fades. Molotov well timed here from Cadian. That could push their feet inwards. They could just storm into the bomb site, which they do. Cadian missing a crucial shot is cleared, and just like that, it's Mad Lions with another successful retake.
Acor takes his own life in the middle of all of that, and there was a moment where if Cadian hits that shot, that 1v1 is extremely winnable. So maybe just rested on a razor's edge there. But the version that we see is the one where the retake is successful. Fantastic use of shoulder peeks here from Shush. He sees their shadow every single time, and there it's just beautiful. Leg comes out, he kind of recedes from the peak and then peaks again at the perfect moment, like knows how to win every single one of those duels, and plays it very calmly.
And for a player who was 4-14 before that moment, that's a great feeling to now have. You know, you've gotten your round. You've done your job so well that Mad Lions still establish their lead. And Roy burns Cadian before he can extinguish the threat.
Yeah.
Man advantage taken away.
Hunden just trying to cross the pit. His teammates had the protocols to throw the cross Molotovs outside the blue bins. Those still come in after Hunden dies, and that's huge. They end up regaining control of long. They've got 2 people here. They have a kill to their name. It was the Opper that went down. The Op is not recovered, and they might use it for themselves. In fact, I think Acor picked it up.
It's a really nice flow to the game at the moment. Oh, a robbery. Snappy dropped to 12 health through the edge of the wall, and Roy has to dodge his own grenade and desperately spray through smoke as Borup topples the B site in its entirety. It is theirs. So now that big question, are you going to try to retake with a double op? The answer, absolutely not.
Yeah.
An easy save call here from Mad Lions. A valuable save call at that, but at least Heroic now find themselves in double digits as well.
Yeah, it's a hard map to call, man. This is a really good half for both teams so far. Like, I'm seeing a lot of good stuff from Mad Lions as well as Heroic. And in terms of just like who's got the better T side, I can't tell exactly like who's going to come away with more rounds. So we'll see. That was nice. It was a good entry from Cadian to kick things off. A great adjustment for Mad Lions to stick to their protocols to get that kill. And then after that, it's Borup once again to crack open the B site by himself. I think that's another round that they don't actually win without him doing that. So key piece of the puzzle, great on those entries, and now they're doing a good job of working both halves of the map. So we'll see what happens as we move now into, I think it's round 22. But Heroic have options. Relying somewhat on individual efforts, but that's the lay of the land on Dust 2.
At least we're still in that state where both teams are coming in with buys. So, no runaway momentum. As you said, the 22nd round underway. Estetag baits out the off shot, gets himself into position, but now it's this double up on Cat that comes up huge. Not only cutting down the first player, but the bomb is thrown into the mix. And Cadian gets cleared out by Acor. A solid double up on Catwalk is what spells success here for Mad Lions. We are trading rounds back and forth 4 in a row, but still that 2-point lead.
I want to know if it's a read because again, they have the 2 ops. They have 2 ops at A. So they had 1 op holding long by himself to spot, who was it, who just came out? Essetag.
Yes.
He ends up missing, even though Essetag risks it on a shoulder peek, could have died in that situation. And then they have the Falmus and the op to join forces on Cat to get kills. So was that a read? That's such a good setup.
That was a nice 2-piece.
It was the perfect setup for the exact play that was coming their way. A fast take out A and up Cat. Now we don't know, maybe the play on Cat was meant to be a boost into lower. Potentially that was the initial strategy. Because normally, you know, you don't open up a round with 2 ops on the same side of the map. But if it's a read, it's, you know, all because of, probably all because of God Hunden. I don't know.
That brain's just bulging.
Yeah, you can see it just throbbing right now. Absolutely pulsating at the moment.
Borup down. This one through the edge of the wall.
Yeah.
And I just said that, like, yeah, none of these rounds have resulted in a runaway, but check out this purchase here from Heroic. A single AK-47 in the mix. Enough utility to try and bombard this B site with flashbangs, hopefully getting players turned, blinded, or just uncomfortable enough for them to charge through. If that bomb's planted and Essetag can get himself in a post plant with the gun, hey, so be it. Problem being, you've got to get past Bubsky, who has been lights out for Mad Lions. And
don't be fooled by the cute name, okay? Bubsky is here to frag.
Tee-hee.
Yeah, and he's got the op. He's got a lock on the B side. I think Borup like loves to try to test him, but this is obviously not the round to do it.
Ooh, he gets the leg shot. That's a warning. Turn back while you can, but they won't. They try to charge outwards, and he does topple one. Misses a shot on Bora, but this is going to enable the Fomis to get into the mix problematically. Bubsky was supposed to be then overrun, but he had a close rotation, and Heroic, with a hesitation, call off the hit. Unfortunately, they're going to walk into Hunden.
Wow, he's running the whole operation right now. He's got the
Hunden.
T's on strings. They're all running. He's going to make it a straight
Two.
transfer. Well, kind of. He turns it into a two-piece in general. Just there it is. And
Three.
third, no problem. Tap him down. And he does the Cadian hand raise.
Yeah.
After he kills Cadian.
That's supposed to be trademarked, but...
Can't actually, yeah. I guess that's like LeBron trying to trademark Taco Tuesday, but at the same time, he did it. That was the Cadian hand raise.
Meanwhile, Cadian looking a bit deflated.
Yeah, no Cadian hand raises from this player right here.
Another pause called. This one being a Mad Lions tactical timeout. So Hunden just letting it brew.
Yeah, think about what just happened. Think about what I just did to you right now.
Curiously, using their last pause when they're in a situation at 13-10 leading. Not saving one just in case we go to OT.
Yeah.
Not saving one, because remember, he said it twice. We are going to destroy Heroic.
Right.
Maybe he didn't use destroy. I may be, but it was something like
dominate,
crush, eviscerate,
obliterate.
I want to play Unreal Tournament.
Mega kill.
At least they're back in with a bye, Launders. If there's a silver lining here for Heroic, they may be at the biggest round difference in a while. And they also may be down 5v4.
Wow, wait for Master mid.
Yeah, a bit of a slip there with the op. Finds just ahead on display. Cracks it open. And at least this catwalk pressure does push Mad Lions to have these three players towards A. We think about those B hits that have been coming in as of late from Heroic. Well, they've always had that close mid rotation. Not this time. A pressure, catwalk position. Very much going to keep the majority of Mad Lions over here on A. But in the long run, might not even matter. Heroic shying away from the B site, leaving two anchors over there, and just looking to work a man advantage up Cat. But you talked about it, the strength of the Goose position.
Yeah.
And of course, that's where Roy currently holds.
Yeah, especially if they don't want to come for long, and they're down a player, so... Yeah, Goose does peel off a bit.
Yeah. Smokes, flashbangs.
While they're trying to move in again, I don't think. He's got a smoke in hand. See if he drops that on the site, trying to protect his long player at the same time, finding for him. Nice spray down.
Excellent flashbang coming in from A-Core. Now he's just meant to trade what remains of Heroic, and he does damage Cadian, but doesn't take him down, so that's a bomb plant. Again, a silver lining, seeing as Heroic are losing rounds, losing bodies, losing duels, but still trying to hold the site. Oh, a second peek from Shush could have been a beautiful attempt in Cadian's 1v3, but nothing more is his. So 14 rounds for Mad Lions, 10 for Heroic. This Danish derby starting to come to an end, perhaps, unless Heroic can dig deep and bounce back after losing so many in a row.
Yeah, they'll have to dig really deep because Mad Lions are really on their feet right now. Their CD side looks super good. I mean, just calm and collected. They're trading back and forth a little bit, but I think now that we have more context in this half, we can see that it was very important that Borup got a couple of those entries into B, because since then they haven't been able to put together a round. And some of those, both of those rounds, I think, were rounds where a player from their team had died on another part of the map. Borup comes through, hero opening kill, and other players contribute, but that's by far the most important one. And they haven't been able to do that again. And like Bubsky, maybe that was just a one-off, because Bubsky in general has been playing lights out. His stats are through the roof right now, and he's on the B side. So you think, if that's the demon that they can't take down, or they got lucky in those couple of rounds they won, what odds do Heroic have of pulling out 6 more here on the B side?
Well, maybe they just want to hit Bubsky head on. If he was at the B-bomb site, of course. Currently, just shush. But we've seen Mad Lions go with heavy numbers A early, immediate rotation towards mid, normally boosting a player on one of these boxes in CT, but that doesn't seem to be the case at this moment.
Yeah.
As much as we want to praise Bubsky, remember, Roy is right there with him.
Yeah.
And I remember Roy, he's so self-aware of the fact that he has the least, some of the least experience on this team. So yeah, I don't know how this has all happened. I don't know how we've gotten good this quickly. I don't know why I'm here.
I'd like to thank God and my agent.
But let's see the B site to be tested. Shush coming in from the back of flat, playing around the box. Excellent two-piece, perhaps a third. And yes, he drops that bomb. Near one-man defense. The mid player served as a distraction, and he peeks around to add the kills to the tally. A 15th round added in style. He gets dunked on from A-core through smoke. 5 map points here for Heroic, trying to push it to OT.
Yeah. And Shush silences them. Really nicely done. And that last shot was a USP shot to the head for the extra 60 damage to couple up with the nade that came flying through the door and left them
in smithereens.
In smithereens, thank you.
So best of luck here, Heroic. Coming in with a haphazard buy. Trio of Mac 10s just trying to charge down long control. And they will be met by resistance in the form of utility. Smoke and a flash. No overextension here from Mad Lions. You know, if you realize that they are buying in with everything they can, odds are there'll be some lesser weapons, so don't get close. Keep them at arm's distance. Pop them in the jaw.
Just give him a little punch in the face, tiny.
Poke him in the eyes.
Poke him in the eye. Got your eyes out a little bit. Pinch their cheeks.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, Mad Lions, at this point, you know, being in control for as long as they have, only giving up 2 rounds to Heroic on this T side, you see the confidence boil over. They push into lower tunnels, they clear it out, they flank all the way through T-spawn. Heroic, they know exactly where you are. A hunted beast is Heroic, but if Bubsy does something like that, he opens a door for them to double back. Unfortunately, the timing and the fact that Boom is on the dirt really creates a bit of a disaster. Now, Smoke's gonna go down, denies a bit of vision, but Cadian is all alone. 30 seconds, 1v4, no bomb. There are people out there who will believe in him. Whether he's one of them himself is the biggest question, but I think what we have here, Mohan, is the answer. Mad Lions may be the second best team in Denmark. We'll have to see them face off versus North later today to find out if that is truly the case. But Heroic have been dispatched of, and I would say Hunden's confidence played a key piece in this. He said they were going to destroy them, and in the end, once we swapped them onto the CT side, it was a one-sided show.
It was kind of a destruction, especially towards the end. Really nice map there from Mad Lions. Nice dust to play on both halves, and